Hey lovelies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Vanessa Anegbode. Please do not make it your last by hitting that red subscribe button, liking this video and leaving a comment in the comment section down below. You're very much appreciated and you're very much welcome to join the Anegbode's family. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys a detailed eyebrow tutorial. I usually get a lot of questions, especially on my Instagram whenever I post makeup videos and post makeup pictures. How I get my brows to look so fluffy and so natural. And I realized I haven't showed you guys any eyebrow tutorial. And I was like, you know what? Today is the day. I'm going to let you guys in on how I let my brows look so fluffy and looking so natural. So if you guys would love to see this kind of video, make sure you keep on watching. As you guys can see, I already have my base done. My skin is looking all radiant and all creamy. So when it comes to brows, I usually tend to do my brows before I do my base, just because it makes the makeup routine very fast for me and it just makes my skin look better. That's just my personal preference, but sometimes I do it the opposite, just like what I'm doing today. And for my brows, I usually go in with a pencil or a pomade. I don't necessarily use a brow pomade just because I don't just like how it feels in my hands, and because when it comes to brow pomades, I don't have precision. But with a brow pencil, I do have precision to them. So I tend to use a brow pencil more than I use a brow pomade. So you can either use a brow pencil or use a brow pomade. But on today's video, we'll be using the Morphe Micro Pencil in Java. This is the eyebrow pencil that we'll be using today. So I either use the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil or any other brow pencils that have this very tiny mouth to it, just because this kind of pencils helps you have precision over your brows, and that's very, very important whenever you want to do your brows, because you want to have as much precision as possible in controlling the way you want your brows to look. Also for my brows, I tend to go in with a brow gel or brow primer, and it's important that you do this because either a brow primer or brow gel, they both help you put your brow hairs to be in place and you don't have any hair sticking out. But because I do not have anyone today, I go in with my Ebin hair glue. You can go in with a hair glue, either Ebin or got2b glue. That is going to help your brows to stay in place all day without even moving, especially if you have very thick eyebrows. Using a brow primer or a gel hair glue, it is so important, because that will literally help flatten out all your brows and give you that soap brow look kind of thing. So you can either go in with an angular brush like this one, which I'll be using on today's video, or you can go in with a circular brush. Either one is fine. You just have to know which one your hands love to use better and which one gives you better definition for your eyebrows. One of the most important things when it comes to giving your brows that definition is a full coverage concealer. I always try to go in with a full coverage concealer to define my brows, because concealers either make or mar your brows. I am telling you guys. But for today's video, I'll be using my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Now, concealers are just one things that help define your brows. If you want to make your brows look a little bit thicker, make your brows look a little bit slimmer, you can always go in with a concealer to fix your brows, to fix anything that is wrong with the brows, depending on whatever you want to do. Concealers are like the holy grail to having that perfect fluffy brows. So I'll be going in with my Ebin hair glue with this kind of brush, and I'll try to raise my brow hairs up just so I can see the shape of my brow. So if you have more hair than I do, this is most definitely going to flatten out all your hair down to your skin so you can see the direction of your hair on your face. So I go in with my brow pencil and I go underneath my brow and I make a line underneath the brow, following the natural structure of my eyebrows. Then I go on the top of my brows and do the same thing. But when it comes to the top of my brows, I go in very slowly just because I do not define the top of my brows with concealer. So I always try to make sure the top of my brows are very, very perfect because I don't like using concealers on the top of my brow. So make sure you go light-handedly on the brows because you don't want your brows to look very, very thick. If you're going for the natural kind of look, you don't want to go heavy-handedly on your brows. So you just go very lightly as on the front of the brows and draw hair strokes up like that on top of the brows, just like so, just to give the brows a very natural, seamless look. Then I go in again just to define the tip of the brows, just like so. And that's how I like my brows to look. Then I go in with this kind of brush, the same spoolie that I use to make the brows to lay flatten on my skin. I still go in with that also, and I try to brush out any hard strokes that I made on my brow while I was defining it, just to give the brow a seamless look. Because at the end of the day, we're going for a very fluffy, natural kind of look. And this is how the brows are looking now. I did the same thing with the other brow, and I go in very light-handedly with the brows and go very subtly with the front of the brows. And this is how the structure of my face is looking. So as you guys can see, this brow is a little bit lower compared to this one. The arch is a little bit, this one is a little bit lower compared to this one. And brows can never look the same, even if they're twins. No matter how hard you try, sometimes you can use concealers to just kind of define it a little bit, but your brows can never be the same. So I'm not going to be sitting right here trying to figure out a way to make this one look like this. No, baby, nobody's doing that because I already know brows can never look the same. So then I go in with my elf camo concealer and I put as much concealer that I need on top, on both sides of the brush, like so. When it comes to defining my brows, I usually start at the tip of my brows just because defining the tip of the brows just makes it look cleaner for me. And I go in very slowly and light-handedly with the concealers. I try to use the concealer to define the brows the exact way that I want it to be like. This concealer dries very fast. It dries down fast, so you have to be very fast with applying it if you're going to use the e.l.f. Combo Concealer. But if you know you're not very fast, you can go with other full coverage concealer instead of using the e.l.f. concealers because this dries very, very fast. Then I use my concealer and the brush and I go in at the top of the brows just to give that same strokes the same way I went when I was doing the front of the brows. Make it a little bit more natural. That's what I tend to do. Just to take up any harsh lines at the front of the brows. So I go in like that and make the brow looks very seamless. So I don't have to go in on the top of my brows. But if you feel like you have to clean the top of your brows in case you make any mess, you can do that. But as you guys can see, I don't have any issue with the top of my brows. So I'm good like so. Then I go in with a blending brush to blend out any excess concealer that I use to clean the brows. Most times I use the excess concealers as just eye primer, so I don't have to go in with another eye primer on my face when I do want to do my eye makeup. So So after I'm done defining the brows, I tend to go in with a translucent powder and I try to bake my brows. And the reason why I do this is because, first of all, baking the brows makes the brows look very natural, and it just makes the brows looks more fluffier than when you just let it be after you're done defining the brows. And also, baking the brows makes the brows to stay longer, just like baking your face. Using the translucent powder on your face makes your makeup to last all day, makes your makeup last longer. That's the same thing as baking the brows, because this just helps the brows stay in place, especially if you're a content creator and you know you have to create multiple looks and you don't have time to be filling in your brows in different looks. You just use a baking powder and it just makes your brows stay in place. And also, if you have oily skin, because I tend to get oily on my forehead first before I get oily on any other part of my face, so this is a very important step for me. I know it may look crazy now, you think it's going to wipe off, but I promise you it really isn't going to wipe off. I only bake for like 2 to 3 minutes, then I go either 2 to 3 minutes or after I go with my eye makeup look and I wipe everything off. So like I said, I just let this sit for like 2 minutes. It's been like a minute 58 seconds. I actually put it on timer. So I just go in with the same brush or go in another brush and just wipe off the excess powder on top of the brows. As you guys can see, there was a difference. The when it initially I didn't have to put any translucent powder. Now it's looking a little bit more softer. It looks more fluffier. It just looks more natural, which is the kind of eyebrow look that I tend to go for. Nothing cleaned out. Everything seems to still be in place. I just have to clean out any excess powder and everything is just going to still be there. See, the brows are not moving nowhere. They are all set in place for every single content that I have to do, any single thing that I have to do. And that's the whole point of putting the translucent powder on your brows. So I'm back, guys, and this is how the final look turned out to be. I went in with the reverse cat eyeliner look to finish this makeup look just because I see it trending all over social media. These brows are looking very natural, very fluffy, like no harsh lines, everything is still in place. And I really do feel like setting your brows and using a brow gel or brow glue, brow whatever, it really makes the difference. It sets your brows in place and makes sure that your brows does not even move literally for the rest of the day. But I hope you guys were able to learn one or two things from this video. Please let me know in the comment section down below what other videos you would love to see from me, and I will be very much happy to shoot the videos for you guys. Make sure you guys do not forget to subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. See you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay blessed, you stay beautiful, you stay humble, and continue to be the best version of yourself. Bye guys.